Fantasy Flight Games just announced that there is going to be a new core set for Arkham Horror. So that's kind of interesting. So it's not a new addition. It's the same Arkham Horror card game that you know and love. You can almost think of this new core set as simply another expansion to add to your collection. You can mix and match the player cards from this box with everything that came before it and everything that will come after it, as it's fully compatible because it's all the same game. That's fascinating. I wonder if they're going to do the same thing for Champions. Halloween is such the best time to announce this, right? So what is new about this core set? In short, a lot. Even if you already own everything for the game, you'll still want to pick up this new core set since its contents are fairly different from the cores that came out before. While there's a handful of familiar cards from the old core set and or previous expansion, the vast majority of player cards are completely new. So let's take a peek at some of them. That's interesting. So, like, we have Bodyguard. The layout of the card all looks the same, so it doesn't look like it's a redesign necessarily of any of the cards. But that's interesting. So, has anybody seen anything about this core set? There's a lot of new cards. I don't think I'm going to necessarily go through all the cards in this video. I'll post a link to it. But we alluded to a new core set means a new introductory campaign. Okay, so it's coming out with a new campaign as well, which is Brethren of Ash. A string of disappearances casts a shadow over Arkham, lighting a fire under you and your fellow investigators as you work to get to the bottom of the mystery. It's another 3 scenario campaign, which I think like the standard big box campaigns are like 6 to 8. And then the core set, Night of the Zealot, was 3 as well. So this is going to be 3. So it's a bite-sized mini campaign to bring new players into the game. One new feature for the game, you'll see a lot in Chapter 2, is the introduction of reward cards. I bet all your money Champions gets a core set too. Can't wait for this new core set. Nice. Okay. Reward cards. These special player cards are, as their name implies, earned as rewards for winning a campaign, finishing a specific scenario, or fulfilling some special condition. You can't include reward cards in any of your decks until you've officially unlocked it in game. So it's like a achievement type situation. That's cool. I like that mechanic a lot. Like in Arkham, you have the XP that you can then spend on different cards as you level up, but these feel like cards that you have to do something specific. So Collector, permanent, it's a reward. Purchase only a deck creation. You get +5 deck size, and you can choose one other relic or charm asset of any class 0 to 3. So a little bit of a downside, a little bit of an upside, but you can earn this card by completing the Brethren of Ash introductory campaign. In exchange for increasing your deck size, you get to include a Relic of Charm from any class in your deck, opening up all sorts of new deck building opportunities. Interesting. Okay. So new core set comes with, it looks like new investigators. Yeah, this is how they're going to do Marvel Champions. This is 100% how they're going to do Marvel Champions, because the new investigators in this core set 2.0, as we mentioned earlier, time has passed within the narrative of Arkham Horror. Because of this Chapter 2 expansion, we'll see a mixture of new faces and returning favorites joining the game's playable roster of investigators. That said, even though some characters are returning, you'll find them sporting new stat lines, abilities, and or deck building restrictions, making them almost entirely new characters. That has to be what they're going to be doing for Champions as well. So you have like a Jacqueline Fine or whoever, like Wendy Adams comes in the core set. You're going to get a second Wendy Adams with different abilities. And they kind of alluded to this in the live stream for Arkham. You have, or not Arkham, I'm sorry, for Marvel. I think I was actually talking about Arkham in there as well, where like they're going to be redoing some old heroes. And so it sounds like we're going to be doing that for Arkham, new stat lines, new abilities, new deck building, which means that we're going to be getting the same thing for champions, would be my gut reaction. That being said, Core Set 2.0. Interesting. Core Set 2.0 does not invalidate the old core set. I think that's important because that's what they're saying here. They're going to provide more in-depth details about the investigators at a later date. But if I had to put money on it, my guess was that it's not going to invalidate the old core set, and that's going to be the evergreen product. I'm pretty sure unless it says something down here later. Yeah, I don't think that they're stopping selling the old set, which makes the rumors that a lot of people have been saying about having a new Marvel Champions core set, I think, very valid. So they're not stopping the old core set. They're going to have effectively 2 core sets for the game. We're probably getting another core set for Champions. 2027, I think, is a redo of old Marvel Champions heroes. I hope they don't redo the functioning heroes, just those that suck. I think that they're going to be redoing all the ones that are out of print, or a lot of the ones that are out of print. So they're going to be redoing Captain America. He's a really good hero. Everyone wants him, but you just can't get him. You're going to spend $300 for him. That's fascinating. There's going to be more information in the in-flight report on November 22nd during PAX Unplugged. I will be going to that. And so I'll be reporting out after that. I assume there's just going to be a silly amount of information given to us during that in-flight report. It sounds like a lot more stuff is coming next year. But what does this mean? Like, I think it's interesting for Arkham. Sure. I don't play Arkham as much as Champions, but I think this is giving us a insight into what Champions is going to do. So what do we think that new core set is going to be? If we follow the same format that we got for Arkham for a new core set of Champions, we have, I'm going to count the investigators in this Arkham set. Joe Diamond returns to the scene as a seeker. His class remains the same. His abilities are very different. Gone is the Hunchback in favor of a new emphasis on straightforward investigations. And then Isabel Barnes. I think Isabel Barnes is a new one. I don't think I've heard of her before. Oh, she's the sister to Jenny Barnes. That's kind of fun. She joins the roster as a survivor. So that'd be interesting. So new core set. New core set for Arkham has been announced. New player cards, new investigators, old investigators with a new reskin, and a new campaign. That's fascinating. I like it. I like the idea. I don't see anything in here about like the rotation that they were talking about using for Marvel and Arkham. I do believe that they said it was going to be for both. I don't see anything about rotation in here. I'm wondering if that is, it's a $70 core set. That's brutal. Dang. Holy crap. Games are getting so expensive. I'm excited about that because I'm actually wanting to get in on it. Yeah. Fantastic Four core set 2. That's what I heard, a rumor that it could be a Fantastic Four core set. And I was like, they're not going to do another core set, but they're doing it for Arkham. So they might be doing it for Marvel as well. I wonder when we'll know more about that. I wonder if we'll get a tease on I'm just assuming that is happening. A tease on core set 2 now or at PAX. That could be really interesting. F4 core set, I hope, rather than redoing original core set. The only thing I care about Spidey is the 4 heroes there. My only hesitation around the Fantastic Four core set is that with the Arkham Horror, they're mixing and matching old and new characters. So a Fantastic Four set would be all new characters, new heroes to the game. And so my thought is that they would probably mix and match similar to what they were doing in Arkham and drop like Spider-Man and She-Hulk as well as Invisible Woman and Mr. Fantastic or something like that. F4 Deluxe core set was a pretty big rumor. Yeah. Played Arkham once and I wanted to get into it. I know some of this stuff is hard to get. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. So, what do you all think about a new core set? Would that change up standard sets? My mind is just like wheeling on what that could mean. I'm guessing I could see a Fantastic Four core set, but if they're going to follow in the same formula that they did with Arkham, it's going to be reprints of old heroes as well. Not necessarily reprints, but redesigns of old heroes. I don't think you would have to buy the redos to play the new one. Oh, well, you may. Like right? Like if you're going to, what it sounds like here is that it's not an upgrade. It's a completely new investigator just with the same name. So like you could buy a Hulk. It's going to be a completely different Hulk deck. Just it has the same theming around it. Yeah, Marvel Champions now is really hard to get. And I think that's kind of maybe the plan going forward. I don't even know. I really wish that we heard more from them. But it does sound like the communication is starting with Arkham. And so like we could see more communication around Champions. I've reached out a couple of times. I have not heard back from Fantasy Flight. I wanted to do an interview. I'm hoping that they'll respond, but I have not heard back. But I want to know more. I haven't done a video around it just because there's not information out there, and I can speculate with the best of them. But this gives us a little bit of concrete information about what is actually happening. My thought is that we will get a core set 2.0 for Champions. If it follows in this formula, we'll get heroes that are old and new to try and sell both of that. That'd be interesting. Those heroes you can get, like Captain Strange, might be in a new core. Yeah. Or in a expansion following the new core. Be Spidey, She-Hulk, Daredevil, X-Men, and maybe a Strange. I'm hesitant on the X-Men because I think that's under a different licensing agreement, and I think that licensing agreement has sunset. I don't know if they have the ability to print X-Men cards right now, and so I think that was maybe a rumor. I don't know if that was a confirmed rumor, but if it wasn't, that's where we get Beast. That'd be cool. Arkham is a lot easier for them to talk about, I'd imagine. Why do you think that? Why do you think it's a little bit easier for them to talk about Arkham versus Champions? So when is this coming out? Starting next year. It just says next year. So I don't think we know. I don't think we know when the date is. Is their IP? Oh, yeah. They can't just do it. I think Arkham is actually like public domain IP. Like it's just so old. That's fair. X-Men is already good. Almost only Beast that matters. That would explain why the X-Men set was just kind of short and done with. Yeah, they had to consolidate because I think they had a specific window in order to print those cards. And I have not confirmed this with anybody who actually knows anything. This is just like speculative that I've seen online. And so this may not actually be true, but that's what I've heard is that it was so consolidated because they had a certain window to print the cards and then they weren't allowed to afterwards. The next heroes are either F4, Heroes for Hire, or they troll folks and print the original Defenders, Namor, Hulk, Strange, and Silver. can and just say, oh yeah. Marvel is such a huge franchise, so they can't do whatever they want, unlike Arkham. Wouldn't there be an FFG live stream soon? I think they're doing a live stream every day this. They had a live stream this today at the same time I did. Interesting. Yeah. So I think it's kind of exciting. I'm just excited to start getting some information around it. Now it's not for Champions specifically. It is for Arkham. And hopefully this starts kind of the ball rolling on more information coming out. They put out an article to tease what they're going to be talking about at the in-flight report, which is kind of their big state of the union type meeting every year that typically happens at Gen Con, but they moved it to Unplugged this year. And my guess is that we're going to hear a lot about SWU. We're going to hear about this. And if I would be surprised if we're going to wait a whole nother year to in-flight report something for Champions. So my guess, now that we have this, I was kind of thinking that we'd see Hercules, or the final hero, at of this wave at the in-flight report. My guess is that we're going to see something about that hero pre-in-flight report. Potentially an article teasing 2.0, Champions 2.0, before that in-flight report, and then more in depth there. Huh. They make us wait more than 6 months for a box, I'll be upset. Still missing a few Avengers like Gwenpool, Kate Bishop. We're missing a lot. I mean, like, there's just so many Marvel characters. Interesting. So yeah, the new Arkham set that's coming. That shakes the game up, my friends. Man, I was really on team not new core set. I don't know why. I was like, there's not gonna be a new core set, and now we don't have confirmation that there is a new core set for Champions yet. But it feels like they would do the same thing. I want more Young Avengers, Wiccan, Mystic. Mystic cards would be really cool. That's crazy, team. New core set with different heroes. I would like them to redo some of the old heroes as well. I would like to see a new Hawkeye. I would like to see a new Hulk. I would like to see a lot of new redesign of some of the older heroes. With the updated mechanics. Like, Hulk should have steady. Right? Like, I've seen talks about Hawkeye having like a arrow deck, which would be pretty cool. Still missing. We have Wasp and Ant-Man. Oh, like Hank Pym. Ant-Man. That'd be fun. Yeah, Kate Bishop. Like, that could be a way to do it. Let's play Champions. Let's play Champions 1.0. Hop down.